nobody stopping my shine. They try to break me, try to take me out, but I got Jesus on my side.
Hello, everyone. This is your host, Maria Duenas with the Entrepreneur Soiree. And today, I wish I had an amazing guest on the other side of the screen, but truth be told, I don't. I have a lot going on, and I figured, you know what? Let me just go ahead and share with you what it's like to be a stay-at-home mom and run your business from home. Truth be told, it's not always rainbows and sunshines, as some of you may think, or as sometimes we may make it seem on social media. So I'll give you guys a little rundown of what's going on. So usually, just to be able to get this show out for you guys once a week, it's a whole production. Okay. I'm the one who takes care of my kids, as I mentioned to you guys earlier. So I don't have a babysitter per se around the clock. So I have to arrange, a babysitter to assist me. If I'm filming in the studio, then, we drive all the way to LA. But if we're filming straight from home, then I have to arrange, for my babysitter to stay outside in the front of a home with both of my boys and my dogs and everything else in between, just to make sure that we are able to have some peace for a good 45 minutes to an hour. And that can be challenging sometimes, guys. Let me tell you, there's times where I'm just like, how am I going to do this? So today is a good example. So I did have a guest that had a family emergency. And so I completely understand I didn't have a chance to find someone else to replace her. And then a whole bunch of other things, started trickling down the line. So today I don't have a babysitter. And to my right, but you guys can't see, is my 3-year-old. And I have him, trying to entertain him so that I am able to record this video for you guys and deliver today's message while my 1-year-old is asleep. And let's pray that my little dogs don't bark today. So that's just my life today. We have a lot going on, and it's very difficult, as I mentioned to you at times. And I know one of the questions that I always get from other moms that are trying to start a business, from scratch or from home, because they are also taking care of their kids. It's like, how do you do it, Maria? Because you make it seem like you have everything under control. And truth be told, I don't. I barely ever have anything under control when it comes to my home, because it's never the same. You have to give yourself permission to not be that perfect mom, to not be that perfect parent, because you are going to drive yourself crazy. So what works for me, I'll tell you what works for me. So usually my day starts, let's just say 6:00 in the morning. We get lunch packed for my husband, kids are up, and we kind of get the day started. So I use the first couple of hours of the day to kind of set the tone. Like, what do we have going on? Do I have meetings? Do I have to physically go out and do site tours, or is everything on the phone? Am I working on proposals? Am I working on design? What does that day look like? So I figured, since I'm at home with my kids and my 3-year-old, we actually can conversate and he understands. I share my day with him. Okay. So I like to let him know, like, this is what we got going on. This is kind of like our schedule, our time frame, and we have to get going. So we are not wasting time. In the perfect world, we're going to be able to knock out everything I have on that to-do list. But truth be told, half of the time I can't even get through half of it. Why? Because life happens. If one kid's not crying, the other one's hungry, and things like that. So I've learned that I need to be able to control my emotions, to not get frustrated with the situation that I'm currently facing if it has to do with my children and me trying to accomplish things for work. So I've already mentally prepared myself that the first couple of hours, I'm not going to get much done. And I've learned to be okay with that. So I'm going to dedicate that to my kids. If we're going to do like an activity, if we're going to have breakfast, if we're just going to go outside for a quick walk to clear our mind, that's something that I instilled in my 3-year-old. Like, hey, you know what? Let's just go outside, take a quick walk just to clear our heads and, be able to redirect ourselves. So those are things that actually work for me, but also writing everything down. I have all the fancy gadgets, technology to keep your calendars, reminders on your phone, on your laptop, on your computer, you name it, we have that. But I am very old school when it comes to having to write everything down. I have to visually see it in front of me. So I walk around with my notebook and I do write everything down. Before I go to sleep, I do like to leave my notebook laid out open so that when I come downstairs, I'm able to get a clear vision of, like I said, where my day is going. And that's something that has tremendously helped me. Now we prioritize. Not everything is going to have the same importance because in my example, since we are planning events on a weekly basis and we have places to go and people to see, then I have to see, okay, who's going to have priority? Not that one event is less important than the other, but regarding the time frame, if I have an event that I started working on, it's not till the end of the year, maybe I don't have to get on it right away. That could probably wait till the end of the day versus if I have an event this coming weekend and we need to finalize all the last minute details. So for me, writing everything down to visually see it is huge. And that's how I've been able to function all these years. And there's something about writing it down and then holding yourself accountable to make sure that you are able to cross those items out. And then understand that you are not going to get to everything on the list and not to beat yourself up for that. Because not only are we moms, are we trying to keep the house clean and make sure we have food on the stove to feed these kids and the rest of our family, but you have to also give yourself a little break and understand that you're doing the best that you can. Like I said, I'm fortunate enough that I do have assistance most of the time, but like an example for today, I don't have the help that I need. So I'm going to make it work for me. So, you make sure that you involve your children, explain to them like, hey, this is what mom is trying to accomplish today, or dad, if you're a stay-at-home dad. This is what we're trying to accomplish, and I'm going to need your help because I have X, Y, and Z to do. And most often than not, the kids want to make sure that they do whatever they can to help you. So it's just like keywords that you're using so that, you are able to accomplish whatever you can. And then also make sure that you are also present with them. That's why I like to take the first couple of hours of my day to make sure that I am present with my kids and I'm not so much on social media or getting back to messages unless it's like an emergency. I want to make sure that they understand that I am here, I am working, but I am also available to them because there's been some times where my 3-year-old will say, Mom, can you come and hang out with me over here? And over here means going to the living room. And then he'll be like, bring your phone with you so you can hang out. Right. So in his head, he's associating that mom is always on the phone. And in order for her to come and hang out, she must bring her phone with her. But then I'm also very intentional. I'm like, no, if I'm going to come and hang out with you, my phone can wait. I don't need to bring my phone with me. Whatever is going on can wait 20, 30 minutes so that him and I can have that interaction. Because at the end of the day, it's quantity versus quality. And I had a hard time at first because I was thinking like, oh my gosh, yes, I do operate my business out of my phone the majority of the time. That's my reality. But I also had to not let that overpower my life or take control of it because I still have 2 human beings that I'm responsible for until my husband gets home, from work later, and then he jumps in and then he takes over, and then I can, full force get to do what I need to do. And also understanding that another example, like if I have an upcoming event, and again, it boils down to me not being able to have the babysitter available and my kids need to come and we need to go do the shopping, it's like, make it fun for them, like have a reward for them at the end. Like, we're going to go walk them through again, through the process, what's about to happen. I'm really huge on explaining to them, even though my 1-year-old obviously still doesn't really get it, but he understands we're like on the go. But with my 3-year-old, it's kind of just like, lay it down. We are going to go shopping. This is what mom's looking for. And I have a list, and I'm going to need your assistance. So we're going to make sure we're going to go into the store. We're not going to grab items that we don't need, so that we can go in and out. And then there's a reward at the end, because in my opinion, I mean, it is a lot for these kids to handle, because I'm sure they'd rather stay home and play with their toys or do something else. But these are the struggles and sacrifices that a lot of people don't see at the end. You're concerned about, and I'll just talk about my experience because of what I do and the nature of my business. But a lot of the times our clients don't get to see that. And I'm also very communicative with my clients, because I always like to make sure that they understand like where I come from, and to make sure that we are the good fit for each other. So an example, again, I like to make my kids a part of my business, because they feel, they are contributing to what's going on and to our success at Delish events. So at times, there'll be times where my 3-year-old will come with me on a meeting if we're going to walk a venue and things like that. Obviously, I haven't taken him to like a corporate meeting, just because everything's always more a time crunch. And obviously I need to keep it professional. And I get that. But I also like to expose him to that, because the more he sees of what I do, the more he's able to understand. And when I ask for these times, like, sit here, don't move, because I'm going to be recording a video, then he's able to understand, and he can be more intentional and can see like, that's mom's work, so I need to be more respectful. So those are just some things that I feel can help any mom that's trying to start her business at home. You're not going to find the perfect time to start it. You're not going to, if you're like me and don't have someone that's there 24/7 to take care of your kids, and it makes it difficult. Yes, it's difficult. It is not easy. There's nothing glamorous about that, but it can be done. I always say, like, if your why is greater, you're going to figure out a way. I was just to get ready this morning, the list of events that happened, that took place, was like, it was like for a full day, and we're not even halfway. It's not even noon yet. And then I was just thinking, you know what, Maria? You're just going to have to, reach inside of you, get the strength and courage that you need to be able to calm your emotions down, so that we can move on with our day. And then we'll address every single incident or situation accordingly. And so that's just one of those, today's just one of those days where, like, it's not perfect. I barely had time to get my mascara on right before, jumping on the call here. But that's my reality. And I always feel that when I get approached, and the majority of the people that approach me are women, and they feel like, Maria, but you have it together, like your business and your children and everything. Yes, I have it together, whatever that means. But usually it's always falling apart. And that's just something that I always like to be very transparent with, because it wouldn't be fair for like the people that are trying to start a business in this case and think like, oh, she has it, the reason why she's successful, or the reason why things work out for her, is because she has help all the time. She has help from her husband. She has help from her parents. Yes, I do, but not all the time. And like I said, if I'm going out to the studio to record, it's literally an all day event. We're leaving our home by 7 o'clock, to drive 3 hours in traffic to record for 1 hour and then drive 2 hours back. And my kids are in the car all this time. So, but I have obviously, my babysitter who's watching them. But those are the sacrifices that you have to be willing to make if you want to be someone in life, because not everything's going to be comfortable. Not everything's going to come knocking on your door and land, and fit within your schedule. And you have to be willing to step out of your comfort zone. And that's like the message for today. Moms, don't beat yourself up if you guys feel like you don't have it together. It's okay. Find that one thing that you are able to accomplish in your 24 hours and celebrate it and acknowledge it and be like, even if I had 10 things on my to-do list and I was only able to do 1 or 2, hey, that's more than I would have done, on any other given day. So don't beat yourself up. Put yourself, give yourself a structure. You definitely do want to have some sort of structure, because otherwise you won't be able to follow through. And then just go for it. Things will fall into place as you go. You just have to be willing to go for it, follow your dreams, and don't let the things that you don't have taken care of or figured out stop you. So I just want to say thank you for all of our viewers that continue to support our show and follow along. I love getting all the messages on our Instagram and the DMs that, we've encouraged people that they love watching us, like where can they watch it? And I love the engagement that, our viewers have with us. So I just want to say thank you for today and say a little prayer so that the rest of our week can go smooth. We have some amazing events this coming weekend, and we just can't wait to celebrate all of our beautiful clients. Thank you so much. And you guys can find us on Instagram, Delish Events, and where we create and you celebrate. Bye, guys.
Glutathione is a big word. It's the body's own master antioxidant. It's a scavenger for free radical, bacteria, and viruses. There are no products in the market with the ingredient Nasset. Nasset increases the production of glutathione that's in our body already to strengthen and enhance our immune system, elevate sense of well-being, support muscle strength and endurance, cognitive function, and liver support. It helps with increased energy and blood sugar regulation. Get your bottle of GSH Plus from www.salvationnutra.com.